Okay, we're back here on the Fox, KRFX Denver, Boulder. Rick Lewis and Dave Logan here. And we are going to get a chance to meet the new head coach of the Denver Broncos. Coach Vic Fangio joins us. Thanks for coming by. It's great to meet you.
You're welcome.
Met you briefly at your initial press conference, and you talked about how you were a gray sweatsuit wearing guy, and you're a man of your word. It's going to be 100 degrees today, and you've got on a gray sweatshirt.
It just kind of hides my overgrown stomach. Helps do that.
Well,
keeps the sun off my arms.
Yeah, you got to do that here in Colorado too.
Right.
Well, welcome to the show. It's great to get you on here, and I think so far you've really impressed a lot of people. I know you're a real no-nonsense guy, and you are who you are, and you don't try to pretend to be anything else, but everybody seems to really like the way you've handled yourself here so far.
Well, it's good to hear. Obviously part of the reason they feel that way is because we're undefeated at this point. So we got to keep working hard and make sure all those positive feelings and thoughts transfer to the regular season, which will be hard to do. But I think these guys are up to the task, and I really like the way they're working.
Coach, we talked earlier this week in sort of a short Q&A, and I'm going to ask you a similar question that I asked you that day. Generally speaking, you've got 5 preseason games this year, brand new coaching staff, your first opportunity to be a head coach. If I asked you today, what are there 2 or 3 things that you would most like to accomplish taking your team through this preseason schedule, aside from staying healthy? What would they be?
Well, I think just for our offensive and defensive players and the guys on the kicking game to master our schemes and what we're expecting them to do. Because I think the quickest way you can get beat is to not know what to do or how to do it. So we're constantly working to master all that stuff for us. Yet at the same time, we want to establish a style of play. We want to play smart. We don't want to give the other team anything. If
Right.
we're on defense, we don't want to give up big plays. Offensively, we don't want to give up negative plays because we don't know what to do, and we need to make a fair share of our own. So, and always we want to play hard. We want to play physical and play hard the entire game.
You said at your initial press conference, you used the term death by inches, and that really impressed me. And can you explain to our listeners, what do you mean by death by inches?
Well, I just think what it means is any act, whether how simple or meaningless that it is, in and of itself it might be, but if they accumulate, it's death by inches. And then an example for us would be, when we hold player meetings here. If a guy walks in 20 seconds late, 30 seconds late, a minute late, that in and of itself really is not going to determine whether we win or lose a game or what kind of team we are. But if it continues, then it's going to be a few guys to do it. Then it's going to be 2 minutes late, 3 minutes late, 4 minutes late. And then you have a problem. It's just like on the field. If you have pre-snap penalties, whether it be offsides, false starts on offense, illegal formations, 1 or 2 of those in a season isn't going to kill you. But if they accumulate and you're doing too many of those, they make you a bad football team.
Vic Fangio is our guest from UC Health Center. Rick Lewis and Dave Logan. You look at, and I talked to you a little bit about this week as well. You're pretty much set with respect to what you want to accomplish on defense. I mean, heck, you've been a coordinator and a defensive coach your whole life. This will be a new offense for you, and one that you'll have, obviously, as the head coach, you're going to have some input in. But as you look at what Rich Scangarello likes to do from an offensive standpoint, what sort of stands out in your mind?
Well, I like that we try and make things look the same, on the first and second down. We do a good job of marrying the play action and our running game together, which I think any defensive player would tell you is hard to defend. That it just takes away from their aggressiveness the first second of the play. And then, I think we've done a good job of adding on to our offense. The offense that we're running has had its roots here 25 years ago in Denver. Mm-hmm. But we've adapted to it. We've added to it, to some of the things that are being successfully run in the NFL today. And we're not just running what they ran 25 years ago. Rich and his guys have done a good job of adding to it. I really like our offensive staff. He's got good help there with the guys, good experiences. So I'm pleased right now where we're at there.
Coach Vic Fangio with us. You've been an assistant coach your entire life, going all the way back to high school days. Being a head coach now in the National Football League in particular, is there something that you've found that maybe is more of a challenge for you? You got to do a lot of interviews now. I don't know if you like doing interviews or not. Do you find it annoying to have to talk to so many people?
You're asking me that during an interview?
Yeah. Everybody wants to talk to you, and
Yeah.
Is that something you're comfortable with?
I am. I don't mind doing it. I realize that it's part of the job, and but at times it can get too many in one day. That's the only thing that can disrupt you a little bit. But haven't been too surprised at all. I've seen it for a while now, and but just a couple little things seem to pop up every day and interrupt your workflow.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Like this.
Like this right
Yeah.
here. Like, hey, you got to go talk to these guys
Like
at
you-
8 o'clock, right?
Yeah.
All right. My last question before we let you go, at least my last question, and I will not ask you this again. If you were not a football coach, what would you do? How would you make a living?
I'd be in business somehow. I do like to know and how money works, earning money,
Yeah.
making money. So I do like to keep up on current events and stuff, the financial markets and stuff, and probably somewhere along those lines.
All right.
We thank you for coming by.
All right, you're
Really,
welcome.
really good to have you on the show. Coach
Okay.
Vic Fangio.
Appreciate it, Coach.
All
Thanks.
right.